the Texans were 1-point favorites. MyBookie.ag against the Miami Dolphins on Saturday.
Did they cover?
Sean, they did not cover. In a tribute to the Texas defense against BYU last decade / last year's Texans defense.
Whoa, that was uncalled for.
No, listen, we took some shots at the Aggies last segment. Fair and balanced. The Texans couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. They got their asses kicked 28-3 in a game that I regret attending. Shout out to me, the one ESPN Houston employee who did go, because I care about your Houston Texans and providing coverage of the Houston Texans that you can't get anywhere else.
Cody was there, right?
Cody don't work here no more.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
More on the lineup later. Hey, the Texans lost. D'Amico Ryans was asked about that awful effort after the game.
Yeah, it all starts with me. When you put a performance out there like that, it starts with me, and it wasn't good enough. So that's me internally. I wasn't good enough today for our team. And so with that, I go back to the drawing board and look for myself to improve and get better, to make sure I lead this team, that we put out a much better outing, especially in front of our home crowd. Right, it's not representative of what I want for the Texans, and we'll get it corrected.
Sean, I had some flashbacks. Hearing D'Amico Ryans say that. You know who always used to say, it's on me, and it starts with me?
One of the greatest coaches in Texans history. Undisputed top two coach in Texans history.
Oh, boy. This is Bill O'Brien, a mashup that I put together from just one press conference back in the day of all the times that he said, it starts with me, it's on me.
Yeah, I screwed that up. My mistake. When we lose, John, it's look in the mirror time, and we did not win the game, so it's my fault. Again, it's on me. You can't kick field goals in a red area, and, we had too many field goals down there. I think at the end of the day, again, it comes down to me. Anything that happened negative in that game is on me. It's on the coach. We've got to coach better, and that's the way it will always be with me.
So just a thought. I don't like hearing coaches say it's on me. I don't want flashbacks to Bill O'Brien. I don't want flashbacks to Brock Osweiler.
I think, Paul, it's a little unfair of you to call D'Amico Ryans Bill O'Brien 2.0 after just 2 preseason games. I think that's unfair that you're doing that.
That's a great point. Hey, now, to the Houston Texans' credit, there were actually some good moments in that game on Saturday. But for the most part, as the game wore on and as the backups checked in, it got worse and worse and worse. I'm really curious, bringing up Bill O'Brien, I'm curious as to how D'Amico handles an embarrassing team loss like that. It's a preseason game, so obviously you're not freaking out, but this is a learning opportunity for D'Amico. How do I best communicate to my players after we got our doors blown off for 60 minutes? It'll be interesting to see that. Obviously, you're not going to get to see the behind-the-scenes look, but I'm really curious as to how D'Amico handled that afterwards. As far as some of the good that we saw on Saturday, let's start with C.J. Stroud. So, holy crap, the beginning of that game was about as bad as it gets for C.J. Stroud. Denzel Perryman, who played very well, had an interception of Tua Tagovailoa's first pass. It was great pressure by Jacob Martin to force the interception. Tua couldn't step into it. So the Texans had the ball, 3rd and goal at the 1, at the 2. The Texans got called for a delay of game. That's always on the quarterback. Always. Delay of game, it's not a coach thing. It is a quarterback thing. You got to get to the line of scrimmage. You got to run the play. Then I don't know what the hell they were doing on 3rd and 6. Essentially 3rd and goal from the 6, running a play action fake pass to a fullback. It's like trying to run the same play that you were supposed to run when you were on the goal line, but it doesn't make any sense when you're doing it from the 6. So that play didn't work out. And then on 4th down, the Texans went for it, and C.J. Stroud and Dalton Schultz had miscommunication. So those first 3 plays, Stroud was bad. But from there, he was pretty good. I thought that he showed real signs of improvement from not just drive 1 to drive 2, but game 1 to game 2. I don't think he made any decisions that were like, oh, what the hell was that? I thought he had a beautiful throw rolling to his right, to the right sideline to Noah Brown. He had another nice ball on a deep out to Robert Woods on the left sideline. That is one of the toughest throws in the league. And the play, perhaps, of the game happened on an incomplete pass. It's sort of like what we used to do with Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl against the Bucs. Remember, he had like the greatest incomplete pass of all time.
The one where you're sideways? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did CJ Stroud do that?
Stroud didn't quite do that.
Oh, okay.
But Stroud had a rusher bearing down on him. He spun out of it, rolled to his left, and put the ball right where Noah Brown should have caught it. It went right through Noah Brown's hands. But it was a nice throw. Stroud had some good moments in this game. Will Anderson also had probably the highlight of the game. I don't know what they were doing trying to block him with a running back. He literally killed the running back, blasted through him, and sacked Skylar Thompson, who I think was so stunned that Anderson got there that quickly that he just bobbled the ball out, almost lost it. That was a beautiful play by Anderson, who has been having a great training camp and a pretty good preseason.
A little Jadeveon Clowney-ish play. Remind me a little bit of the Clowney play was against the Raiders in the playoffs. Remember that
I do.
Playoff matchup with Connor Cook?
I do.
And Brock Osweiler.
Oh, my God. What a horrible game.
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, he was 100% unblocked and whatever. I forgot which of the Dolphins' terrible running backs were trying to block for him. I mean, literally the third string running back was trying to block him. But yeah, that was just like a wow play that you can be like, okay, same thing with CJ Stroud, a couple of the throws he made. It's like, okay, there's like, these guys belong on NFL fields.
I came away from Saturday less mad than I thought I would, because obviously as the game wore on, I was like, why am I here? Because all these backups were in, like, a lot of these guys are never going to play in the NFL
Yeah,
again.
Going to the game is tough.
It was. And I would say in particular, like, the secondary had a bad day. Bad tackling, bad angles. It was Jimmy Ward. It was Desmond King. A couple of moments out there where I thought that the first team unit struggled. But, I mean, they definitely are better at the linebacker spot. They just need to have Denzel Perryman and Christian Harris on the field essentially at all times. And they're going to have that first team unit in. Like, this is a team that doesn't have a lot of depth. And you know, over the course of a year, if injuries happen, they're going to stink. So, at the very least, there are, though, Sean, as you said, like, reasons to get excited. Anderson, I think, has been better than I thought he would be. And it's not just the speed, it's the strength that he showed, especially on that play. I thought he wasn't going to be as strong of a guy, just given the fact that he's not the biggest dude. Like, obviously of good size, but we're not talking about an absolute freak of a player. But he has speed and power, and I think Stroud made some improvements. So there you go, guys. Texans lost 28-3.
but we feel good.
We feel good. Joint practices with the Saints have been canceled, so I'm very curious as to how the rest of this week is going to go. If the Texans even play C.J. Stroud in preseason game number 3. For context, Anthony Richardson did not play for the Indianapolis Colts in their preseason game over the weekend. Bryce Young did play. We'll talk more about Bryce Young yesterday. And also the Texans' week 1 opponent, the Baltimore Ravens. Sean brought up Jadeveon Clowney a moment ago. Jadeveon Clowney signed with the Baltimore Ravens, so they will be going up against Jadeveon Clowney in week 1. Scary.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't even fake build up that matchup. It's not how does CJ Stroud face against Jadeveon Clowney? He'll probably be on like a 10 snap limit.
I'm there. You know what? Clowney will probably be offsides in that game at least once. Like, bet on that.
More. Oh no, because Clowney's not going to play that much. Who's going to have a pre-snap penalty first? Clowney offsides or Laramie Tunsil false start?
Clowney offsides.
Okay.
Clowney offsides.
You have more opportunity with Tunsil.
That is true. He is Sean Mapes. I'm Paul Gallant. Paul Gallant Show, ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, King of all Twitches. That new offensive coordinator looked like a lost puppy with the clipboard. That play on 3rd down and 6 from the goal line was awful. Like, I can't get over how that play was the thing that made me the most angry watching that game. I was like, what are you doing? It's like Pee-wee football stuff. You're running the same play that you ran because a false start broke it up. Like, all right, we're just going to run the same play we ran again. You're at the 6. What are you doing? What are you doing?